So this process of growing up, of maturing, of structuring things, of defining things, of taking on works, taking on jobs, taking on time commitments that are going to make you give up other things so you can get something done. It's like a kid doing their homework. You have to do the homework. Everybody complains about it. That's Jupiter, Mars. But when the kids that do it, they get ahead. The kids that don't, it catches them. And these catches affect 30-year cycle. If you leave school before your education, before you finish your education, boy, it's kind of hanging over. You might not care for 5 or 10 years, but 10, 20 years down the line, you're going to start wondering, how come I'm just doing this? How come I'm limited here? How come I'm not getting more? Well, you haven't invested in more. So the older we get, the more we see the limitations, and the more we have to adjust things and put them and fix things to make it better, or we get depressed because we're not doing the things we want, or we can't do it as well as we used to. All of these things are challenges to fix your vulnerabilities, to work at it. So working at things, that's a Saturn expression. Do you work at your life, or do you play at it? Or is working at your life just a pocket you have to do to pay for all the things you can play with? It's not a simple yes and no. It's this is the process. Saturn's the boss, it's the law, it's the parent, it's the authority giver, and it's your ability to be an authority too, and be responsible. So out of all the words, or out of all the keywords, anything getting old, feeling tired, feeling down, depressed, restricted, limited, inhibited, these are all Saturn processes. But always, wherever there's a problem, wherever there's an inhibition, wherever there's a limit, there's a work to be done. So you're seeing the depression. Can you get yourself out of the depression to fix it? To work at something so it's not going to stay there anymore? Oh, the place is so messy, I can never fix it. I never have the time to clean it up. Whoa, who else is going to? So Saturn's really, really important in one's chart. It's not the sun, it's not the moon, but it's the limits of what you can work within. It's the law, it's the order of things. It's the work needed to respect, to accomplish things. Some people are better starting things than finishing things. Some people can start all sorts of things but never accomplish much. Some people build up, stay very cautious all their life, but they hold a steady job, they have the retirement, and they're secure all their life, but they haven't had a lot of adventures. Some people have a lot of adventures but give up their long-term stability. And it's a choice our ego sun makes as we're going through, as we get our experiences in life. So, you know, it's a different way of listening, a different way of, you're looking for something different when you're watching Saturn. How strong are your bones? How do you get along with your dad? Do you have a job? What are you working at? You're accomplishing something. What do you do? What have you done with your life? Do you have any special works that you've done? Well, I've held this job, but this has been my hobby, and I really learned how to build a car. This can happen we can think of jobs often in social outer ways above the horizon, but in the below the horizon ways, there's a need to work on oneself. I have to fix my inhibition, to fix my difficulties before I can go and compete and relate outwardly. That's like Saturn below. Saturn above would be, above the horizon thing would be more functional, and I have to work to fit in, I have to work to fit in, I have to do this regardless of what I need. So it can, above or below, Saturn still has a very valid presence, but it's the anchor. It tells you how to work at it. As soon as you see what your responsibilities are, what you have to do, whether you like it or not, if you just start working at it, you get prepared for it, you're dealing with it, you'll succeed in life. You'll get respect. This will filter down to all the other things, but so much of the things we do because we don't have the right father or parents, or we don't have a job, or we haven't fit in, and the system has been irresponsible, or there's been bad authority figures, and all of these things fit in to make you not necessarily the best authority figure. Sometimes they can drive you to work to prove people wrong. In my early grade school classes, in grade 6 or 7, when we were taking music, they wouldn't let me sing in the class. They made me stay out of the classroom even when the class choir was singing. So this was a very inhibition. It was a very socially stigmatizing thing. Well, you can't sing. Get out of here. It bothered me for years. I would never sing happy birthday in front of people. I'd always be never singing. But that inhibition bothered me for so many years that eventually it drove me to have a vision about music and to build a music instrument, to learn to play music, to understand it better than I ever would. And I look back now, I think those teachers should have been arrested. But that restraint and that inhibition bothered me so much and inhibited me so much, it began to affect my social, cultural interchange. And it challenged me to have to get disciplined around the music, around years of studying, to just get okay, to get good at it where I can do something. So everyone's going to have stories like this. I'm just trying to talk to get into the mode of it. So Saturn's not the enemy, but it has a special thing of, oh, there it is. Oh, there's the tedious. Oh, there's the boredom. Oh, there's the work. Oh, geez. But then when you work at, oh, I have to fix that. I have to take care of that inhibition. I can't be always bad at this. I got to learn how to do something better. And when you make that effort and you make that commitment and you start working at it and you put time in regularly around it, it builds up honor, respect, dignity, accomplishment, and all of those things reinforce the confidence of the sun and create a great status and structure that protects your sun that you work within. Okay, so never cover everything enough, but this is just, words don't express it. It's just an energy that it is. But as other things come up, these ideas will come further. So when we take Saturn into we start going through the signs, we want to see the attitude we have to authority, to our parents, to responsibility, the attitude we approach our commitments and our depressions with. So something's difficult. If daylight's increasing, you're trying to be more and more free. You're going to try and do things yourself. You're going to try and, you don't want to be told what to do. If you're being told, you'll do it, but you're really trying to get to manage things yourself, do yourself so you can work for yourself or have this serious independence. You want to be accomplished. You want to have your own job. You want to have done it yourself. You don't want to have to owe other people. You want to be making it go further and make decisions that you're making. You're the authority making the commission. So you're trying to be more responsible yourself in a more independent way. When it's in the nighttime increasing half, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, the nighttime increasing half, the tendency is to make commitments and to be serious, but it's to be involved with others. You want the interaction with others. You want to see how it's affecting others, or how other people are affecting you, or how you're being part of a team or part of a group. You need to work to be involved with others a little bit, or take on commitments and not affect other people so much. So the daylight increasing is not being so concerned about, they're trying to be more independent, not be more considering what everyone else is saying they should do. They're trying to do more for themselves. Whereas the Saturn in the nighttime increasing, they're trying to do more for themselves, same sort of thing, but the attitude comes in of needing to belong, needing to do something for you. I've done this for you. I want respect. There's a need for that increasing, it's moving towards taking on responsibilities and working with others. So some people can have discipline, they can pose themselves. Some people need other people to help them figure out or to tell them what to do. Those are very simple generalizations because there's many shades of how this can happen. But just when we're looking at these two sides, you know, Saturn, Capricorn, and Aquarius, they rule it. It's I'm being responsible for whatever comes my way. It's very social because the nighttime's greater, but it's still inhibited and working very hard to keep up with things, to try and get that freedom 55 or to eventually accomplish. By the time you get up to Aries, Taurus, or Saturn and Gemini, you don't want to be even listening to anyone else. You want to be doing things yourself and accomplishing things yourself. That's Saturn, and you'd be depressed if you're not doing that, so it'll be challenging. Well, I don't like what I'm doing. Who needs this job? Take it and shove it. I'm going to do something else. And it pushes it, but it's usually when you're pushing and you're just running and doing it independently, you're not always being that responsible about it. So it's that daylight increasing increases the responsibilities and also the kind of depressions about dealing with responsibilities. When the night times are increasing, you can still get everyone can be making demands on you, trying to do things for the group, for the team. Your justification comes from how you're involved. You're sensitive to other people's attitude to it, but you're still going to try and be responsible in your own way. But it's more interwoven with other people and other people's reactions. You'd be more sensitive to whether you're part of the team, you're part of the work. It's more of a team process with the darkness increasing than the daylight increasing. So personal challenges, doing your own thing, and social challenges, being more involved, both involve time and work. Both can have different degrees of success and accomplishment. But when you're starting to see it, Saturn, so you can't just judge someone, this is who you are, but you can see this, and you can see how this attitude begins to affect the Mars of what needs to be, how to do things, and the Jupiter that understands it. You can see how these, when you put these three things together, the Saturn begins to be the anchor that guides the understanding and guides the action, and Jupiter guides the action. And it really is all based on this discipline on the backbone of Saturn, of your commitments, or lack of commitments. So understanding social position, where people are in their life, at what age they are, what they're doing, what needs to be done, that's Saturn. And with looking at Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, you get a very good social picture. So you start thinking of the vast spectrum of experiences. You have people who all work within jobs and things, and you have people who have been independent, not worked at jobs, or people who just stayed at home. You have people who done their own independent thing, worked independently. You have people who worked only with the team. There's so many different differentiations about how these type of experiences come in. You can't just say it's just this. But you begin to sense this differentiation of the responsibility to be a little bit more independent, to be doing your things yourself, to be a little bit more free. I'm doing this to get a little more free, to be better myself. That's the Saturn daylight increasing. The darkness increasing. I'm doing this to take care of more things, to work on more, to accomplish more, to be involved with other people, to improve myself, so that, but it's more relevant to other people a little bit more. It's perhaps more naturally responsible. Yeah, okay. So, oh no, let's just back up for a second more. Like so, no, we'll come back. We'll do this when we do the 4 seasons. Okay. So when you're taking the daylight is greater, darkness is greater, you're getting not the movement. Like the first one I consider most important. If you're seeing the direction, I'm working, Saturn daylight increasing, I'm working to try and be more independent. I'm trying to get rid of things, take care of things so I can do my own thing more. I'm working to do my own thing more. That's the Saturn. Or I'm behaving because I can't do anything myself, everyone's demanding it. But the effort is to go that way. Whereas the nighttime increasing, the effort is a momentum towards belonging or achieving things or being responsible and involved with others a little bit more.